In today's video, I am going to be giving you all the tea, all the tips and tricks as it relates to getting inventories, especially in the Caribbean. If you'd like to know how to do this, ensure that you stay tuned entirely to this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be discussing how you can actually purchase inventory for your boutique. So if you're about to start up a business and you do not know how exactly to purchase your inventories, then this video is definitely for you. I have been getting a lot of comments and questions in my DMs asking how many items I had started with for my online boutique and how much money I actually spent. So there are a lot of persons out there that actually needs this information. I was totally unaware. So based on the comments on my videos in the comment section, I'm going to use that to analyze how I go about making videos on a weekly basis for my channel. So if it's a case where you want a specific topic for me to speak about on the channel, then you can always comment your concerns or your questions in the comment section. Enough of me rambling, let's dive right into it. The first thing that you need to be aware of is your target audience. Once you have decided on a specific boutique that you have in mind, whether you want to sell baby clothing for toddlers, or if it's a case where you want to cater to millennials, whatever the case may be, you definitely need to know who your target audience is. So when I mention target audience, I'm basically stating the type of person that you would want to be purchasing your item. So you cannot focus on your friends and your families. Those aren't your target. So you have to think about the type of style that you have in mind, the hobbies and interests of the person that you're targeting, and stuff like that. Once you have that idea and information based on your analysis that you would have used in your research, then you can definitely go on into thinking about the different styles and trends that you'd want to incorporate in your online boutique. A lot of persons are asking how much money I actually spent, and I did a previous video. The very first video on this channel spoke about the total amount of money that I actually used for my online boutique right here. So when I just started, I am not advising anyone to use my strategy or my tactic. However, when I started, I only bought 3 items based on my specific target audience, and I was genuinely scared and anxious. I was not sure if anyone would actually purchase from my boutique, so I didn't want it to overspend and over purchase inventories that I'd be stuck with. So what I did was to get 3 items that I knew persons would be interested in based on the analysis that was done for my online boutique, and I was able to sell those items in a blink of an eye. After selling those 3 items, that was my actual go ahead to proceed with the item that I had in mind for my target audience. So the total amount of money that I spent on those 3 items was $10,000. Once you're based in the Caribbean, then you basically know that you have to do your conversion rate. Before I even think about getting the item, I have a specific amount in mind. And to be quite frank, if I was supposed to restart an online boutique, or let's say I want to purchase new arrival or new inventory, I normally start with at least $50,000, and I use the rate of 155 US dollar. So each dollar would be 155 US, and then I would just divide that. Whatever my total is, that would be the amount that I would use on my inventory. So if you're going to be using $50,000 in Jamaica, then 155 is the US rate. That would give you a total of $322.58. And based on the inventories that I would have purchased prior, I'm going to be speaking about the different vendors that I specifically use for my online business. So I'm going to be giving my pros and cons from I opened the boutique to now. So $322, let's say an average item, and you also have to choose the type of item that you want for your business. And there are persons that might be thinking starting an online boutique or business is easy when you have different variations. So when customers reach out to you, you basically have different array of items that they can actually choose from. I highly implore for you to just focus on one specific set of items. Say for instance, you're focusing on just selling sets, casual sets, then focus on selling those sets first and see how many persons are actually interested and how fast they're going before you actually divert into getting maybe dresses or jackets or, you know, different types of collections. Focus on one set first other than diverting into getting a lot of stuff, because you're gonna have to use different marketing tactics so that that can sell and you can actually show the customers how they can wear these collections. You cannot have one marketing tactic for just one item or one collection, so you have to take that into consideration. So as I was saying before, an average amount that you would spend on any form of vendor that you choose would be at least $18 to $20. So let's say you spend $18, divide that by the $322 for your first sets of inventory. You're basically gonna end up with at least 17 to 18 sets. I already did a video as it relates to how you can price your items. So if you're gonna be purchasing items for $17 or $18 for a collection for your boutique, then most likely when you're marking up your good, you're gonna basically times it by 3 so that you can deduct the expense that will be coming from it and a decent profit for your actual business. So let's say you have fully decided on the total amount that you want to spend, if you want to purchase in bulk or if you just want to purchase a small parcel to test your market to see if your customers will actually like it. In that case, what you can do is to spend that amount that was just discussed and the 18 items that you would have, ensure that they are in different sizes. Before we head to the sizes aspect, I'm going to be speaking about where you can actually get the items to purchase. You're in Jamaica and you just decided to start your online boutique. We do not have to get a registration for the business for the initial startup, being that you have to test the market to see if it's something that you'll actually like and if you want to have it ongoing, meaning that it will be a long-term investment for you. So let's say that you have decided that this is what you want, this is a business that you have foreseen in your future as you want for it to be your biggest investment, and you don't actually think of diverting or selling out your stuff because you no longer have a passion for it. If it's a case where you do not want to register your business, while I highly implore for you to register, if you're purchasing from the vendors that I'm about to recommend, then basically you're not required to have a business registration to have the items purchased and shipped to Jamaica. So once you have decided on the vendor that you want to purchase your items from, a few vendors that you can use are Lovely Wholesale, you can use Shein, you have Alibaba, AliExpress, and there's another one. Bear in mind, these vendors that was mentioned, apart from AliExpress and Alibaba, they are not the actual manufacturer. So majority of the items that are purchased are marked up at a retail value. So it's not a case where you can actually get the items at a wholesale value. However, once you go on AliExpress or Alibaba, you can actually do your ground research and try to find vendors that are able to provide you with items that you can actually request to be discounted. Some vendors can actually do that for you. However, bear in mind you're going to be having different language barriers, and there might be instances where the items aren't delivered on time. You're going to also have quality issues. So when you're choosing the vendor, you have to use different criteria to ensure that the items that you're purchasing to be resold, is of a good value and you're not being scammed by these vendors. So I'm gonna start with AliExpress. So AliExpress is well known. A lot of your favorite boutiques out there use AliExpress to purchase items to be resold. Now once you're on AliExpress, you will realize that there are a lot of vendors that are selling the same thing. Some things that you need to look out for are their reviews as well as their rating and the shipping times. You'll have some vendors that are cheaper, so you might be seeing items that are sold for $15 from one specific vendor. However, when you're about to check out, you'll see where they're charging you a shipping fee, normally $3 to $5 plus along with that amount. Whilst you'll have another vendor selling the same item, they might be selling it for $18. However, you are getting free shipping from them, so you don't have to pay any form of shipping along with the purchase that will be made for the specific item. You will also realize that once you're on AliExpress, there aren't a lot of reviews, like physical reviews where you can actually go through and see how the item looks on a specific person or a mannequin or whatever the case may be. So it makes it a little bit harder and you have to just trust your instinct when you're purchasing from AliExpress. The fact that you choose free shipping for the vendor of your choice basically means that if it's a case where you get an item and you don't like the quality, you can always resend it back to the vendor and you do not pay any form of shipping. So you have to look out for that. Some vendors will actually charge you to have the item sent back to them, and if you're in Jamaica, you will realize that having items sent back or outside of the country, it costs a little more than having them sent directly. So you have to ensure that whatever you're purchasing are of good quality. So let's go to Alibaba. That's the next wholesale vendor that you can actually use. With Alibaba, there are multiple manufacturers and vendors there, so it's a little bit harder to find a specific vendor of choice that you can actually trust. And you'll also realize that you have to purchase items in different quantities. So there is a minimum order quantity. You cannot just go on their website and say that you want a small, a medium and a large. Sometimes they ask for you to purchase at least 20 to 30 items in one specific style. As compared to AliExpress, you can always find vendors that you can purchase the item in different sizes. So if it's a case where you just want smalls, mediums, whatever the case may be, you can always mix and match and they don't have a problem. There isn't any form of minimum quantity order for the purchase. I have never used Alibaba before, being that their minimum order quantity has never appealed to me. So if it's a case where you want to use them, they are really cheap, and to me personally, I feel like the cheaper the item is, then I am convinced that the quality is of no good. So I choose not to purchase from Alibaba. I have purchased a few items from AliExpress. They ship the items really fast. Most of the items that are purchased are normally shipped out within a 2 weeks time frame. Normally if I'm in the US, I'll get them within 2 to 3 weeks max. And once I'm in Jamaica, it's the same time frame, except I have to wait until the shipping company actually clears the good. But overall, their service was exceptional and the quality of the items that were purchased are really good. So I didn't have any form of issues, except for a few vendors when I just started out. And a quick note, if you realize that you are seeing a few items that are really cheap on AliExpress, don't purchase, especially if it's from a vendor that has maybe 3 to 4 reviews or stars. My first purchase on AliExpress, I remember purchasing some rompers, and when I got the items, it took really long. I had to file a claim, and for the most part, if it's a case where you haven't received the item and you file a claim, the process is really long, especially if it's a case where the vendor cares less about maintaining their stars, so that when persons are actually looking for vendors based on their stars and the reviews, they will see that they are excellent as it relates to shipping out items, their communications and stuff like that. Some of them don't care, because when I reached out to the vendor that sent me the stuff that were either damaged or like really flimsy in quality, they did nothing about it. I had to just keep the goods and that was it. When I filed my claim, they did not acknowledge it. The vendor was just bringing me around, and I had to just leave it as is and just use those items as sale item. So you have to be careful when you're using these vendors. I'm going to be leaving a few of the vendors somewhere on the screen from AliExpress that you guys can actually use. They are highly recommended and I have used them before. You can also use them as well. So Lovely Wholesale, they have a lot of items on their platforms. You can see that they have different trending items that you might be seeing Instagram baddies wearing on Instagram. However, I've made a purchase with them once in my initial startup. They take a very long time to have the items shipped out, and what I saw on the photos based on the reviews as well as the models, when I got the actual item, it was not as seen on their actual page. So when I purchased from them once, that was the one and only time. So it's like a hit or miss, because I've heard about persons that actually use Lovely Wholesale and the items that they get are of good quality. They are actually wholesale. However, when it comes to shipping, like, I don't think it would work out really, because most of the items are like $20 plus. You have to really look through to find items that are below that, and then you still have to pay for shipping, and shipping is based on the total amount of items that you purchase. So the more items that you add to your cart to check out, then the more you pay to ship that item. I would not recommend Lovely Wholesale for Jamaicans hoping to mark it up to maintain a decent profit, being that the shipping that is added along with the items to be purchased, it's not worth it. Most likely you'll be paying at least $30 for one item. So when it's time for you to mark it up and have your conversion done, then you won't be making any form of profit. So next up is Shein. They are very cheap. Initially, when I just started using Shein, they were fairly reasonable. I didn't have any form of complaints with them. They also had a lot of quality items and items that were trending, and then they had the option where you can actually look at other persons that would have purchased and see how the item actually looked before you made an initial purchase. And also they provide so many types of discounts and promo codes that you can use. If it's a case where you know an affiliate or somebody that has some form of sponsorship with them, you can use their reference code along with a different coupon and also points by daily checking in. So once you're checked in on the platform on a daily basis, you can use those points towards your purchase. So at the end of the day, when you're making your purchase, you always get some whopping deals and discount that will reduce the pricing for the item that you're purchasing, and that's a plus. It is very well known, and I think it's oversaturated in terms of Instagram boutiques. A lot of persons are using them, so majority of the items that are being sold by online boutiques, you might be seeing where other persons are actually selling it on their platform, and this makes it a little bit more competitive for you if it's a case where you're selling the same thing. This will make it harder for you as an online boutique if it's a case where you can get the item and price it up for $8,000 and you realize that your competitor is selling it for $7,000. Most likely your customers, potential customers, will want to purchase it cheaper, so you don't have the actual power to determine how much you want to sell your item for, unless you're going to use different marketing tactics and ensure that you upsell in a way that is different, so you can set yourself apart from your competitor to attract these customers. So once you have signed up on the platform, what you can basically do, or what is expected to become a member, is to make a purchase on the platform. Once a purchase is made, you definitely need to show them the tracking number as well as your order number, so that they can actually know that you have already purchased from them. That is what is required, so that you can continuously get access to different vendors or manufacturers that is on the marketplace and make additional purchases there. So that's how you can become a member. So for the LA Fashion District, it's a little bit more tedious. However, being that you're in the Caribbean, you can show that you have a registration, your company's certificate, along with your TCC. This can help to validate that your company is legitimate, it has been registered, and you're not just on the platform to get the items at a lower cost retail value, and you're basically purchasing for an actual boutique. So they need all of that proof before you can actually purchase from their platform. You can either purchase the items online or you can go to make your purchase physically. However, the pros and cons: if it's a case where you're purchasing an item, it is basically sold in a pack. The cons is that you don't have the luxury of getting your item based on a specific size that you want. That's small, medium, large. It is sold as a set or a pack, so you basically get 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large, and that's about it. That would basically be like a minimum quantity order, as opposed to different vendors that you can use and you actually set the sizes. So you also get the option to have your items tagged. So if it's a case where you want your company logo to be on it, you can always request that at an additional cost. As compared to other vendors that you might use, you either get the tags of the company or you just get the size with it, and then you can adjust it accordingly. As for me, based on my experience with these vendors, what I normally do is to ensure that I do my own tagging. So once the size is included in the item, what I do is to ensure that I have my customized hang tags that I will use to ensure that whichever customer is purchasing from me, they can actually see that this is from this specific company. So if it's a case where you do not have enough funds or you're not there as yet in terms of branding or tagging your items, because this takes a lot of money, and you might go into different stores, boutiques, physical stores, and you'll realize that most of the items that are sold, you will be seeing different company tags in it because they did not choose the option to have it branded with their company logo. So a lot of persons will ask, how do you know how many products to purchase? So in the initial startup, I would recommend for you to get at least 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, so your customers can actually choose. If you realize that the item is selling really fast, or if there is a higher demand, then what you can do is to do your restock and do it according to how the customers are purchasing. So once you have started, then you'll basically get a feel of what sizes the customers are asking for. So based on the experience that you're having and the conversations with your customers, then you'll know specifically what sizes you should be investing in more and which items are actually selling. Your customers will basically speak for you. So based on my experience, I would normally choose sizes such as extra small and small, because I was extra small and small and I was basically purchasing for myself. However, over time, what I realized is that most persons that are reaching out would want sizes in large, extra large, and plus sizes. So over time, what I started to do is to ensure that I get more sizes in medium, large, extra large, and double XL, being that I had a wider audience for those sizes compared to the smaller sizes, extra small and small. So whenever I'm stocking my items, I will normally get at least 1 size in extra small and small. Sometimes I just get a small instead of an XS. If you're confused on how you can go about purchasing items or what exactly to buy, depending on the type of targeting audience that you have, then you can always go on your Instagram feed to see what is currently in trend. Based on these trends, once you go on any of these vendors platform, then you'll realize that most of the items are trending. So whatever items that you specifically think that your audience will like, then you can actually get those in smaller quantities and test your market before overbuying, over purchasing. And once that is done and it's on the market, then once you've received their item, ensure that you are marketing properly, effectively. So ensure that you take time out to plan how you're going to be taking your photos or how you're going to be showcasing and marketing the items to your potential customers. You will realize that most of these vendors are having the items and they're on sale. So not because it is on sale mean that you are supposed to get it. I've had so many experiences where I have purchased items because they were cheap and they were on sale and I liked it, so I got it. And when I purchased, I wasn't specifically purchasing for my customers. When I purchased it, I was basically stuck with the item because nobody was buying. Over time, you'll realize that whatever purchases that is made on sale, you're gonna have to purchase it so that you can put it on sale too. So the companies are basically placing items on sale because obviously persons aren't actually buying. They don't have any form of interest in it, or there might be a complaint with the quality of the item. So don't just buy with the intention of getting it at a cheaper cost because it's on sale. Ensure that when you're purchasing, it is of good quality and you actually see yourself and your customers in it, and ensure that it is something that is trendy. While customers might not want to be in the same thing everyone is in, you also have to ensure that you find stuff that are similar to the trends that are current nowadays. So even though it's not the same exact thing as what you might see on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, it is something similar and different. Persons like unique things, so ensure that you're getting items that are of a unique quality and taste that will attract your customers. So the last and final tip in this video for my small business owners: so once you have registered your business, you have your business bank account, ensure that you reach out to your bank advisor to get your credit card. So y'all know that having a credit card is basically a loan that the bank gives to you. You don't necessarily need to be using your personal money. Once you use your credit card to purchase your inventories and make payments for shipping clearance or whatever expense it is for your business, you're basically building credit and you can maximize on your profits without even touching your personal funds. So ensure that you have your business bank account as soon as possible. So as soon as you realize that you want to have your business registered, ensure that you have that up to par. So to begin with, you're always working on maximizing your points as well as your credit score. So in the event you want to make any purchases for a home or whatever the case may be, you have that up to par. So these are all the tips that I have for you guys. I really do hope that you enjoy the video. If you do like the content that I have provided, ensure that you hit the like button, leave a comment down below. I like to engage with you guys in the comment section. Ensure that you are subscribed to the channel so whenever I post, you do not miss any form of videos. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time, see you in my next video. Bye.